Hello and welcome to a short presentation about supply and demand. A few key terms before we get started are supply, demand, price ceiling, and price floor. Now, supply is the economic concept that describes the total amount of goods in a market. Demand is basically the need for those goods in the market. And price ceiling is the total cap for which a good can be sold for, while price floor is the opposite, which is the lowest price that a good can be sold for. Now, supply and demand fluctuate together and correspond to each other. Some of the things that can cause these to fluctuate are time of year, competition, government control, etc. An example of fluctuation related to time of year would be around the time of fall. The supply and demand of pumpkins increases as people prepare for Halloween. Another way that supply and demand fluctuate together is with competition. For example, if a gas station lowers its prices, other gas competitors will also lower the prices to avoid losing customers to the cheaper gas price. Now, taking a step back from companies, the government can also control the fluctuation of the market. Since the government controls price ceilings and price floors, these can often lead to various fluctuations within the market. A good way to show the rate of change within supply is a supply curve. A supply curve is a representation of the relationship between the price of a good and the amount that is supplied for it. Now I've given an example of a supply curve to the right. As you can see, on the x-axis is the price, while on the y-axis is the quantity. Now with the demand curve, the graph shows how the demand for a commodity varies with its changes in price. Like with supply curve, the price is on the x-axis and the quantity is on the y-axis. Now as you can see, I've given an example of a demand curve to the right. The demand curve corresponds specifically with the supply curve, and as one fluctuates, so does the other, and vice versa. A point that we haven't talked about yet is equilibrium. Equilibrium is the balance between supply and demand, which is right in the middle of where they cross at. Since this is the middle of supply and demand, it is usually where the market tends to drift towards. However, when the market goes astray from equilibrium, they call this surpluses and shortages for products. To keep these surpluses and shortages regulated, the government has implemented price ceilings and price floors, which is essentially the highest and lowest point for which a good can be sold. And this concludes the presentation. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and this has been Supply and Demand by Jaden Stone. Thanks for watching.